What's going on, everybody? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Today is Wednesday. It's July 3rd. Happy hump day. Hope you're doing well. And in this video, we're going to do an update on Canopy growth stock. We'll take a look at CGC. I'll bring up the chart. I'll go over the technicals and what to expect in terms of price action leading up to today and in the days, weeks, months ahead. But as always, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only, and you should never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. And full transparency, I do own a small Canopy growth position in my MJ portfolio. If you haven't seen that video, I did a 2024 MJ portfolio update with percentage breakdown, so you can see all of the weighting of each holding in my portfolio. It has updated a couple names on there and some of the weighting, but that'll be the earliest one for 2024. That's the most latest one. I'll get another one out here probably in the second half. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future videos or any future live streams. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. And if you haven't checked out powmerch.ca, again, that's powmerch.ca. You can help support the channel there as well. I got tons of Canopy swag on there. If you want to just go click on the search button and then type in Canopy. We've got some sweaters, some hats, all kinds of shirts, whatnot, but you can check it out on your own time. Like I said, really appreciate all the support. Taking a look at CGC here on the hourly time frame. So we'll take a look at the technicals, and we were expecting more downside daily bear flags across the sector, and that was the case for CGC as well. And we had a bear flag target of about 535 USD on the NASDAQ, on CGC specifically. And I usually chart the US name because it has more volume. So we came within about 12.5% from the recent low there. And then we did have this pennant and equilibrium. We had our low, high, higher low, lower high, higher low on the hourly time frame. We finally saw a bull break out of there, but we did hit resistance and we started to pull back substantially, about a little over 5% after breaking through the first resistance, and then we got met with second resistance. We also had resistance there at 685, and we hit 684, and it was actually a triple top right there at 684. So that was a very strong level of resistance. That is new. That is the new level to break. And then after that, we have a lack of resistance above, north of $7. So as of right now, we are still expecting more downside, in my opinion, as the most likely scenario. If we take a look at the daily time frame, it was still in a daily downtrend, and anything under that 0.32 fib there at $8 was a daily bear flag. So this was a very weak bounce. And then once we lost the low there at 677, that confirmed the daily bear flag. And like I said, we got very close, but not yet daily oversold either. And a lot of names in the MJ space, bring up MSOS ETF. You can see here it hit daily oversold. And there's been tons of names that have done so already. Tilray did so as well. And then if we take a look at OGI, Organogram, just another, came off daily oversold territory, looking at a potential inverse head and shoulders here. But back to CGC, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because the fact that it hasn't hit daily oversold yet increases those odds, right? The names that haven't done so will likely do so here in the not too distant future based on the whole sector seeing that, right? We're also quite a ways away before we see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross here on the daily time frame. And like I said, still in a daily downtrend here. And like I said, it's going to be at least a week or so before we see that daily EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. Of course, independent news or sector news can change everything, but as of right now, barring any unforeseen news, it's looking like we could see a little bit more downside, and we could also see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross here on the weekly time frame, which would add more to the bearish case. So 609 is key support after the low here on the weekly time frame. And then on the monthly time frame, we're consolidating, meaning we're losing the low of the previous monthly candle. I mentioned that we were still in a monthly downtrend, and anything under 1920 is just a lower high. So we're still in a monthly downtrend as well, while a lot of names in the space are in monthly uptrends, right? This could even be an inverse head and shoulders here on the monthly time frame that's forming, as well as we're forming the potential right shoulder here. So you have your left, your head, and then a potential right shoulder, and then the break. But not the most clear. But the fact that, we haven't confirmed a monthly uptrend yet when a lot of other names were in monthly uptrends is a little concerning. So that's why I said it was good to remain patient, right? When we're in downtrends on the monthly time frame, we need to expect a pretty sizable pullback here when we start monthly consolidation, because we still need to form that higher low. So when you're not in a monthly uptrend and you're in a monthly downtrend and we start consolidation, the consolidation can get pretty extreme. So here we are down over 57% from that local top there at 1492. So again, all of this plays a factor, and as of right now, we could still see another 10-20% of downside, in my opinion, before we ultimately find a temporary bottom over the next month or so. I've been saying for a while now that we're more than likely going to bottom out at some point, in July, early August, and then we'll start to see momentum pick back up into the fall. And I think we could really start to see it at any time now, like into that comment period, the rescheduling comment period of the 22nd of July. I just posted a video on the Chevron ruling as well, Schedule 3 or descheduling. I think that's the most likely scenario. Don't listen to all the noise and FUD. I think it's just nonsense and tons of opposition, and there'll be more opposition, more FUD, more lawsuits. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, it's going to be Schedule 3 is the most likely scenario, if not descheduling. I would say 90% plus chance, though, it gets rescheduled before the election, and then that's going to send the market into full-on bull mode, in my opinion. Then also Florida on the ballot, I think that's going to pass. But the fact that we're consolidating here on the monthly time frame, we were still in a monthly downtrend. If we weren't in a monthly downtrend still, like let's say we came above and we broke 1920, then we would have been a little bit more confident in the size. We would have expected a little bit less of a pullback, essentially, on a monthly higher low, because we were no longer in a monthly downtrend. But when you're in a monthly downtrend, you need to expect a pretty sizable pullback, especially since we hadn't confirmed a monthly higher low and even attempted to change the trend. So, as of right now, we're still just looking for a monthly higher low. If we take our fib tool from the low to the high there and we get rid of this previous one that was on the hourly time frame, you can see here we have the 0.786 as well, which is sitting at 527. So if we do lose 609, the next major support would be 527. And that's entirely possible. As of right now, the daily bear flag target is saying that we could see 535. So that would line up as well with our fib level there at the 0.786 at 527. So I think that's the most likely scenario. We'll probably come down. We'll touch on daily oversold territory. So if you're looking to add potentially, again, not telling you to buy, sell, or hold, but if I were somebody looking to add, that would be an area to target. I mean, anywhere around here is a decent area to target, but you definitely have to expect another 10-20% of downside. And like I said, daily oversold should be a nice area of entry there. On the weekly time frame, we had tons of heads up, an early clue and heads up that we were probably going to see momentum start to shift the other way and go down to the bears and go favor the downside. We had a stochastic bear cross. I've been saying for I don't know how many years now that once we see the stochastic cross bearish, that's a leading indicator. Then we usually see the 10-week moving average lost, and then weekly MACD bear cross follow through. That's exactly what happened. Saw the stochastic early clue. Then we closed below the 10-week moving average. We were gearing up for a bear cross in the MACD. So once we closed below that 10-week moving average, that increased the odds significantly. And then we had the MACD cross and then weekly lower lows, right? So that's exactly what we would expect. On the flip side, when we see the opposite happen, when the black in the shorter term is below the longer term and they cross, that's a bull cross, right? So if this, if leading over the next few weeks, if we start to see this cross bullish here on the stochastic, then watch for a 10-week moving average candle close above it, and then MACD follow through to signal more upside. We also had the 50 weekly there at 638, which I said I would more than likely anticipate a back test of support. And we also had the 200-day moving average at 645. So we actually dipped below that 200-day moving average, and it's looking like it's very strong resistance now, flipping that from support into resistance. Upper wick there today, not looking too hot. And if we close the week this week under 638, that's not going to be good at all. If we do, then I think that we're going to continue to see weakness next week, and target that target there of 535. Again, technical analysis is not a guarantee. It's just about looking at the probabilities, looking at the rest of the sector, the broader market. The S&P 500 hit new all-time highs today. So if it were due for any healthy correction, we could easily see a 5 to 10% correction on the S&P 500. And if that were to happen, MJ would not be positioned well. So that's kind of adding to my bear case here on MJ, and then the rest of the sector heading to daily oversold. Most names already hitting daily oversold and daily bear flag targets reached. CGC yet to hit daily oversold and target its daily bear flag target. So again, that just adds more confluence and confidence to the fact that we're more than likely going to see, somewhere in that $5.50 to $5 area. I don't think we'll dip much below that, but let's see if we can close the week above 638. If not, probably heading down to that mid-5. As I mentioned, I wish I had better news. As of right now, like I said, expect one more leg down, 10 to 20% of downside, some sideways action, and then, like I said, into July, August, I think that's when we're going to really start to see the ship turn around, and then leading into the elections, rescheduling to Schedule 3 more than likely around the fall. And then also, I think Florida is going to get approved for adult use, and we should see Germany fast track Pillar 2, potential excise tax improvement here in Canada that's been talked about by the Attorney General in Ontario. So things are looking good. We have tons of bullish momentum and catalysts on the horizon. We just need to be patient for a little longer. I know it's hard when it's been almost 4 years of a brutal bear market, but we can see light at the end of the tunnel, and just a little bit longer of a wait. So it is what it is. We've waited almost 4 years. So be it if we have to wait another year or two, or even another 4 years, right? This is only ever going to happen once, and you have to really kind of decide what you are. Are you in this for a quick buck, or are you in here for the long haul? Even in the big tech, the .com era, it took decades to see real life-changing wealth and gains, and to see the blue chip winners and losers emerge from that, from that era and from that sector. So if it happened in AI, if it happened in .com, if it happened in crypto, it's probably going to happen in MJ, right? It's probably going to take a couple of decades before we really see the blue chip companies emerge and the real winners and losers emerge and show their face. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, it's an illegal drug. So if they did it to other industries that are not Schedule 1 federal illegal drugs and substances, then you know that they're going to continue to manipulate and do the same, if not worse, to the likes of, say, the MJ industry, right? So it is what it is. Like I said, change your mindset. It's only going to ever happen once. Be grateful that we're even here to experience it. And the opportunity is endless, right? This opportunity for generational wealth, and truly blessed to be in this industry. And, as much as it sucks to see price go down, at the end of the day, it's just all noise. This industry isn't going anywhere. It's changing people's lives from a medical standpoint. It'll continue to change people's lives. We'll continue to see, breakthroughs and research and clinical studies, trials, all that good stuff. And then eventually from a financial standpoint, I mean, there's tons of people who have already benefited from investing in stocks in the public markets, but definitely more have lost than have gained. But that'll all change soon. And like I said, the transfer of wealth in the stock market is best said by Warren Buffett. The stock market is a mechanism from transferring wealth from the impatient to the patient. So we just have to switch from being impatient to patient and outlast. And I'll outlast anybody at this game, because I'm here for the long haul. I'm not here for taco gains. I'm here for life-changing and generational wealth. All right. Let me know what you think of this in the comment section below. Make sure to check out that other video as well that I posted on the Chevron ruling. I think it's just noise and FUD. And then also make sure to check out powmerch.ca to help support the channel. All right, thanks again for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rob with Pow Group. Have a great night, and we'll see you again on the next one.